The current stance of the Republic of Armenia isn't allowing the West to take any action. You mentioned Lynn Tracy. The fact that Lynn Tracy immediately went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and met with the Foreign Minister and other officials serves as evidence of the fact that the West is trying to do something, and it can do something within the scope that we provide for the West. Now, the West talks about the prisoners of war because there is a particular point regarding the prisoners of war in the notorious statement of November 9th, 2020. The West talks about the territorial integrity of the so-called territory of Soviet Armenia because that is what we want. If the Armenian authorities talked about the territory of Bosonian Armenia, then we could see whether the United States would support that or not. It is simple, I repeat. Now you are in the United States and are talking about Bosonian Armenia. Mr. Papian, look, what? You meet with high-ranking U.S. officials and hold discussions in Washington, D.C., right? I am not an official. Yes, a very high-ranking official said it to my face. When I put the blame on the high-ranking official and asked why the United States is carrying out demarcation of the borders based on the so-called Soviet maps when there are maps according to the League of Nations and Woodrow Wilson, the high-ranking official told me the following. What do you want from us? What I am about to say is something I have said many times. The high-ranking official literally said the following. Let your country set up a commission, appoint you the chairperson of that commission, make an official proposal to the United States, and offer to carry out delimitation based on the real and only international law, not the administrative boundaries of the USSR. This is what these people are saying. What else can they say? What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to decide for us Armenians? Mr. Papian, was the high-ranking official a current or former U.S. official? You mean the person who talked to me? Yes. The person who made that statement? Yes. The author of those words was a current high-ranking U.S. official who is also in charge of the affairs of Armenia. Everything is clear. Do you understand? I am surprised that this question is raised. In international law and in international relations, a third country may support the viewpoint of one of the sides, but it can't if it does not have a power to act. Theoretically speaking, in the future, if the authorities of Armenia decide to hand over Ararat Province to Zimbabwe, they will hand it over to Zimbabwe. Do you understand? This is referred to as sovereign right. The United States can't, say, step in and ask the authorities why they are handing over Ararat Province to Zimbabwe. In response, the authorities will say it's none of your business. We are the authorities and we act on behalf of the people. When we were telling the people to think about what they were doing before casting their votes, when we were telling them that the National Assembly needs to have national forces, and when we were telling them that they were going to face all this in the future, we were saying it for the people. The people went and cast their votes for a pro-Kremlin party and two other parties that are more pro-Kremlin, and now they want us to solve the issue? At least if we were a parliamentary force, we could have raised the issue as a parliamentary force. Fine, Mr. Papian, today we are raising the issue as an extra-parliamentary force. Yes, and others say it to our face. When they ask us who we represent, we tell them we represent an extra-parliamentary force. Status is a very important issue. Yes, they meet with me and talk to me. For the most part, they do it as a sign of respect for the relations and status I had in the past. But they ask me who I represent.
Բաժանորդագրվեք ազգային ժողովրդավարական բևեռի YouTube-յան ալիքին։